Theft is when something is taken from you and you lose the value of that thing. The thing about taxation is it's not theft because when that money is taken from you, the value is given back to you in the way of services that everyone can use, including you, and in the way of representation, meaning you get to participate in elections that pick the policymakers who go make the policy for us. Now, yeah, there's something to be said about how big money in politics kind of removes some of the value of your representation because politicians aren't always there to represent you. They're there to represent themselves and they can be bought by big money. And yeah, that's a big problem. But in theory, representation is what you pay for. Now, it is happening with your consent because you live here. This is a much better example of if you don't like it, you can leave. If you would just open your eyes and look around, you would see how much our tax dollars go towards public schools, public transportation, public infrastructure, public libraries, public lands, for God's sake. Did we not learn how important public lands are to the American people when they tried to sell them off a few months ago? These are things that you should be able to have with your tax dollars, not bombing Middle Eastern children. I would love if my tax dollars were going to help people. I would love if it meant that someone got healthcare who couldn't afford it. The issue is when some foreign conflict like Israel or Ukraine pops up, our politicians all of a sudden have billions of dollars to send overseas to fight wars we're not a part of. That's where people get upset because we didn't have a say in that. We're spending all this money on foreign conflicts when we have so many problems at home. And I agree with that to some extent. We do need to spend more money on people at home. And these same people who think that taxation is theft love to point out inefficient programs and say that because those things are inefficient, we should stop giving them money, right? You're driving down the road, you see a pothole. You go, oh, this is what my tax dollars are going towards. A veteran has to go to the VA to get benefits and is struggling to do so, or it takes months or years, or it's inefficient or ineffective. Public education. In this big disgusting bill that just got passed, this whole Doge thing, they were talking about why we should defund public education because, look, our test scores are low. We're not doing well. It's an inefficient system. Therefore, we should just remove funding from it entirely. And that is the exact opposite of what that means. That means those systems are inefficient because they are underfunded and under-resourced. That means they need more. That would be like me making a fire to keep myself warm. And it's too small. It's not keeping me warm. So I go, well, this isn't working. And I put it out and I just freeze to death. No, you put more fuel in the fire. What are we talking about? I feel like this plays into the idea that theft is automatically immoral. But I ask you, what is more immoral? A village where a person hoards all the resources and food while there's people in the village who are starving, or if those starving people stole some of that food and resources so that they could stay alive.